Well, hello, and a very warm welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn, and as in Apple, Aline. How are you?
Yes, that'll do. Apple, not apple.
Last time here on the Andrew Eborn Show, we were talking about Oliver Reed and the
No, we
glorious
weren't.
novel with Alan Bates. Do you remember the name of the movie? Do you remember the scene?
I think it was something by D.H. Lawrence, wasn't it?
It was Women in Love, and there was a naked
Yes.
wrestling scene.
And Glenda was in it too.
Everybody was in it. Everybody was in it. Barry Cryer and I, we were in it when we were at school together.
I don't think Barry Cryer was in it, and I know you weren't in it.
We were at school. It was our school play. Every year we used to do it at our school play. It was fantastic.
I know. Did you play Joseph or Mary?
All of them. It was like a one-man show. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was always a thrill.
Barry played the piano.
He's a great pianist, isn't he?
I've never heard him play the piano.
No, I don't think. I think what I love on this show is we either discover talents that people never knew that they had, or we make them up. Either way, it doesn't matter. Never let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
Well, I just wrote a message to you today, or the day before, or the day before that, something about letting the truth stand in the way. Not much of the truth stand in the way. Oh, this is going to be difficult because I put it on. I put it on my Facebook, which was stupid. There it is, anyway. I should know it. I know it by heart, really, but
It's good. No, but you're right about not letting the truth stand in the way of a good story. And I do like the idea of giving people skills, because somewhere I always say people should question everything. And unless we drip feed little stories of things, people won't. We do all the homework for them. So if there was a skill that nobody else knows about, or maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, about as in Aline Waites, what would it be? What would that skill be?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm good at knitting. I can knit. But I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it would be a good idea.
What's
if I
the
could
last
do
thing you
something
knitted?
like cooking or something like that, but I can't do anything that kind.
You can knit. That's very good. But what I don't know.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do. I'm not asking you to do it.
If I go near an oven, I burn.
Well, yes. Well, don't go near an oven when you're knitting.
I get burned all over my hands because I
knit one and you purl one, don't you?
What, knitting? Oh,
yes.
Knitting is easy. Yes, I can do it. Knitting. Yeah. I used to make everybody.
Those who can knit, you can make a scarf because you just keep going forever, don't you? But that's quite good. But when you do a sock or something like that, don't you have to turn a corner? How do you turn a corner?
Yes, that is difficult. I've never made socks, but I've done lots of scarves because I used to knit scarves for Tom Baker.
How did you? That's great.
I've got 2 of them out there. I can give you one if you like.
Oh, I would. I'd like a Tom Baker scarf.
Would you really?
Oh, I'd love it. That's so sweet.
I was going to throw them away. I was just waiting.
Don't throw them away. I will have Tom Baker's cast-offs.
Right.
Won't he miss them, though, or you never gave them to him? You intend?
No, darling. These are the ones that we did, because we did a show with Tom Baker in it. And so I made him scarves, just, things too. Because we played this game of he was at one side of the stage and somebody pulled the scarf at the other side of the stage. And so we had to have 2 scarves, obviously.
Oh, very good. And what, you'd pull the Tom Baker?
So, no, yeah, I mean, what they'd pretend that the scarf was so long that it went right round the stage of the old Vic. It was the old Vic. So right round back of the stage and came on the other side. Because when they pulled it, he did that.
Oh, I love it. Good.
It was funny. It was funny.
And Tom Baker, hilarious. And he was a lovely Doctor Who, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, he was very good. I knew him before he was Doctor Who. But he was a good guy, and he paid for something for Joe, some clothes for Joe when he went skiing.
Did he pay for a scarf?
No, it was a jacket and a jumper and things.
That's very generous.
He was lovely. He was a lovely man, Tom. He used to be a monk.
Did he kick the habit?
he kicked the habit and went into acting.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Oh, 20 years probably.
20 years.
Something like that. I mean, the show that we did was before 1980s, that particular show. It was 1970 something.
70s, well, I mean, 1980s.
I got a program.
Oh,
It was an amazing
wow.
show. Everybody was on it. And Glenda had to do dirty limericks. I gave her some dirty limericks to do. And she was very nervous. I had to hold her hand before she went on. Yeah, she was good.
Glenda Jackson.
Glenda Jackson, yes.
Doing dirty limericks.
Yes.
Glorious.
Well, not really, just sort of slightly. There was a young lady called Alice who did a striptease at the Palace. Because the hair on her head didn't chalice. I don't know what it tally. Did a striptease at the Palais, that's right. When she took down her drawers, there were rows of drawers because the hair on her head did not tally. That was one of them. And I can't remember. And we did it. Somebody came on and planted a lectern on the stage, you know. And here we have the greatest of our actresses, because she was at the time. She was number one, you know. And they put the lectern, the greatest actress, Miss Glenda Jackson. Glenda comes on, and that there was a young lady called Sally. It was funny.
It is that juxtaposition. It's when naughty, when people who assume don't swear say something naughty, and it gets them every time, doesn't it? I always love the juxtaposition of the unexpected, and I think that's what happens when you put these together. It's that wonderful Clockwork Orange. It's the wonderful singing detective where you have the classical music and the extreme violence, and you have very polite people saying naughty words. All of those sort of things. People love that, don't they?
Well, it's like Miriam's, you know, when she talks in this little round, little old lady with flat fuzzy hair.
Miriam, a regular on the show.
Oh, we're back again.
A regular on the show, if only by name. We love it. It's got to be good. It's like Barry. Every time I used to go to school with Barry, we used to.
I know. That's going to happen. I think we just got rid of Oliver.
Oliver Reed. Then we brought him back. Women in Love.
Into a cupboard, and we'd finished with Barry, but Ollie
came out to tell us about our Women in Love.
Because we've got Barry Cryer going to school with you, we've got Ollie back as well.
We've got them all now. We've got Glenda Jackson doing our limericks. We've got Tom Baker and his scarf. And I'm
Glenda Jackson, yes.
I love it. When was the last time you spoke to him?
We had Albie Finney as well. He was nice.
Albert Finney, there you go. I'll tell you what's really good. This is what they call clickbait, because you put all these names down and people say, oh, it's rather like the way you could sell an autobiography. Look at the autobiographies. They always go to the best place of keeping
you see, that was one lot of people. You know, that was the Peter Crouch lot of people. Peter Crouch was my agent. He was everybody's agent.
And that was before he went into the football team, isn't
I became a footballer, yes. And yes, and you see there was a connection there because he was married to Sally, who was my best friend, and I can't remember her stupid name, but he was married to her, and Crouch obviously, and her friend was Carol Thatcher. So I mean, it's so extraordinary how everything goes around, you know, and everybody knows everybody else in this business. It's ridiculous.
6 degrees of separation. No,
but the thing is, what you said about when did you last see somebody? How do I know? Because you see people all the time, you know, you bump into them. Might not see them for years, and then you see them, and suddenly you're still the same friends, you know. It's just show business.
That's show business. Well, we should get them all on the show. This will be like one big reunion. We'll have as many as are still around. We'll come on.
Most of them are dead, I'm afraid.
And then I'll bring them back. I can do wonders. This is what we do.
I know.
We'll
now listen, because I've got my new book is, of course, about a white witch. She was our wardrobe mistress. I must have told you about this.
Tell me again, the White Witch of the Wardrobe.
White Witch of the Wardrobe, yes. And there's a lion as well. No, we talk
about people nicking stuff. You blame Shakespeare. It's wonderful.
Shakespeare. Yes, well, anyway, So that's what I'm trying to get together at the moment. And because they said it was something Rob and I wrote for television, and in 1980s, and somebody from the Writers Guild, I think it was Jen Toxvig, said, "Why don't you make it into a book?" And it's not easy, because it was a very funny dialogue, you know, so you've got to work it so that you can get some of the fun into it without actually making it into a play.
Sandy Toxic, is that who you're talking about?
No, Jenny's her sister.
Jenny is her sister, absolutely. But Sandy, you know as well, don't you? That's another one we can add onto the list.
Yes, we can put her in as well. Put anyone.
Like bingo. What we should do, we should have people have little bells every time you mention you do a name drop, you a celebrity. You can also have a bingo thing, isn't that? I could do this with I could do whatever it is, the cup of positivity. Think like a proton and
stay positive. But yes, but I think, you know, sometimes you can be too positive, you know. I think
positive.
I think a little bit of shyness is quite nice. You know?
No, you've got to be endearing. You've got to be vulnerable. You have to have that yin and the yang. You've got to do that. The dark and the shade. The dark and the very dark.
Was it Mike who said you had the biggest ego in the business? I think it was Mike. Or it might have been somebody else.
He wrote the wonderful song. Mike Reed, he writes these songs. He's a prolific writer as well.
And I love that song he wrote about how I hate Andrew Eborn. That made me laugh a lot.
And this is what I love about it. And he was so worried about doing it because he thought everybody would go against him. But of course, when everybody's cheering him on, we love it. It's going to be good. Because
yes,
what I like, you know this, what I like is when you're taking the world and you look at it in a slightly different way. Because so many people are so gushing about everything. It is nice to turn around and say something different, isn't it?
It's all right. There's a little hand in front of your face just then.
Was there really? Look, there's a little hand behind my head. It's perspective. It's going off to the Tower of Babel. There's two of them.
Well, I wish somebody would come and do my hair. I wish I could get my hair. You see, I can do it. If I've just washed it, it's all right. But if it's the day after I've just washed it, it needs ending. And I need it doing. I need my hair doing.
Everybody, that's what they say. Lockdown is locks down.
It does seem to be, yes.
What do you think?
I don't mind growing it, but it's just the ends need, you know.
What about me? I just see it's bright-eyed and particularly bushy at the moment, aren't I?
You're looking divine, actually.
Divine. Well, that's rather nice. It's a sort of, I guess it's like Tom Baker. Is it? He had curly hair, didn't he?
You look very sweet.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. I think with my Tom Baker scarf on, even though he never got it.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on.
I've got to hang on, or you're going to get it for me now. How exciting is this? This is a glorious moment. This is what we call the Mary Martin moment. It's obviously infectious, where people jump out of their seat and they go ahead and try and find something at the back. Oh, here it is. Good heavens. Look at that. It looks clean and everything.
It's ready to go to Marie Curie or to some poor
old man. I don't want to take it away from Marie Curie.
There's two of them.
There's two of them. Okay, well, one's going to Marie Curie, one's coming to me.
They're very long.
I love it. Well, I tell you, we should do an auction. I'm sure people would pay lots of money for one of those.
Well, how oh yes, I suppose so.
When is Marie Curie open again? Are they delivering and collecting stuff?
They're open, but they won't take anything because everything has to go through a declenser.
It's a problem, and we did that. We have like lots of cuddly toys, and we're permanently getting rid of things. It's permanently good to do. People don't take it anymore. They don't take them.
They won't take anything unless they're disinfected. You see,
especially if it comes from me. It's
there we are.
That's lovely.
Actually, it's got a bit screwed up. It's quite long.
Crumbs?
It's much thicker than it looks.
Oh, crumpled. I thought you said there are a few crumbs in it. I thought there's like a meal when it arrives. It's like a takeaway service.
There we are. You should put one over
you look rather good. Well, next time I should be wearing that, shouldn't I? Be rather fun. So you picked. We talked about William Shakespeare last time, and
yeah.
selected a sonnet for you. What did you select? Which one?
What, darling?
Which
number 30.
Number 30. Comment number 30. That's the bus that goes all the way up to Hackney.
Yes. And this is the one that this is my favourite, actually, so that's all right. Do you want me to start?
Well, it's the best place to do it, isn't it?
Right. When, it's about depression, really. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then grievances foregone, and heavily from fore-bemoaned moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. If the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end.
It's a beautiful poem. We lost a bit of you in the middle because there was a little bit of a delay. I think.
Yes, there was something came up saying it's unstable or something.
Yes, that's me. That's just telling you about me. It's always no, but your internet connection went. So I think it was so good. We ought to hear it again. Will you do it again? Being less. Let's have it again. Number 30.
The dirty one.
What's that?
Will you be able to edit the dirty one out?
No, I don't use that terrible word. It's a 4-letter word, which I never do. So we won't edit it. We'll keep it in. But this is so good. This will make it number 60 because this is the 32nd time around.
I don't remember what number 60 is, but the other one is 130. The other one I was doing. All right, I'll go then, shall I? When to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore-bemoaned moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end.
And it's a lovely thought, isn't it? I think we long for the days when sorrows end.
Was that all right? Did it happen that time?
Yes, no, it's wonderful. You got through it without being interrupted.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Because it's what we talk about, you see, isn't it?
It's totally
and it's what I believe, you see. And that's why I ring all my friends. When I'm feeling fed up, I ring friends up. But it's true.
That's good. I always say it's good to talk, and it's you're never alone. Those people watching, and they do watch in their zillions.
Wasn't there a saying? It's good to talk. Was that a?
No, it was the other Miriam. She used to do that. Do you remember that?
Miriam, you mean Maureen?
I know. I'm trying to see if you remember. Maureen Lipman. That's who
Maureen Lipman. Yes, Maria.
And she did. And she talked about having an ology, and we talk about tautology.
Ology, yes.
Remember that? So remember, of course, the only reason I mentioned Miriam is so we can get another Miriam in there. But Maureen is also a delight, and one we'll get Maureen on the show as well. I think we should do the list of people who are not going to be on the show. It'd be easier that way, wouldn't it?
The people who are not going to be on the show.
Absolutely, those who we won't have on.
Oh, I can't think of anybody.
No, they're all welcome. If you'd like to be on the show, write to us as guests at octopustv.com. That's guests at octopustv.com.
What about Ray Shell? He's just been on another chat show.
Oh, I see. I won't have people who've been. I don't want second-hand guests. I don't want people who've been on another chat show. You
Get
can't
a
go
boom
around
there.
working the circuit.
Get a boom, sister.
I know, I love it. Well done, Ray. No, he's got his book out, hasn't he? He's doing a circuit now. So I think
Well, yes. I mean, it's going to come out. I mean, the thing is, he was doing it in a bit advance. I mean, I would have liked to have had the book to actually write about it, because I, had to. It was difficult to do without having the actual book. I mean, normally, if you're asked to review something, you'll get a copy of the book. Now, look, these are the monkeys.
Oh, here they are, the brass monkeys. Yes.
Yes, and see what they're on.
They're on a. They look as though they're on an ingot of gold.
Yes, that's right. Gold.
Who gave you that?
Bright and yellow, hard and cold, heavy to get and hard to hold. It was given to me by Ron Flatto.
Flatto?
Yes, Ron Flatto.
Ron
And
Flatto.
I can't remember what he was. I think it was something to do with Philips.
What
We
a
used to
great
work a
name,
lot.
Ron
We
Flatto.
used to do commercial. We used to do what are they called? I never know what they're called.
Commercials.
For firms, for businesses, you do it.
Commercials, advertisements.
No, but in real life, you go on a stage and do it.
Oh, right, like an infomercial, like a trade show type thing.
That sort of thing. Because Robin used to do a lot of Drury Lane. They did a lot of Drury Lane. They did Fiat. I remember he had lots of little motor cars on Drury Lane stage. We did a lot of those. And Ron Flatto we did a lot for him. And Phillips from that place which we actually talked about before. We mentioned Phillips before, because you knew the name of this place in Amsterdam. What is it called?
I saw a mouse there on the stair. On the stair, right there, a little mouse with clogs on. Well, I declare, don't get Dominic Glop on the stair.
Now, I had good news today. I did a good thing today. I cancelled my dentist. I cancelled him because I had a cold, and I thought it wasn't fair. And he was coming over from South Africa.
All the way from South Africa to do your teeth?
To do my teeth, yes. Anyway, so at least I can get them done, because I'm very fed up with them. Because they've got their veneers on, and then he's done them wrong, and they need to be taken off and then redone or something. But I'm going to be very poor.
They are expensive, aren't they? They are expensive.
But I mean, no, I've got a national health dentist who's in doing something, but I have to go to the other dentist to see if that's a good idea.
Well, we celebrated yesterday. In fact, we celebrated a bit
it's
earlier.
Today, isn't it? Tuesday.
We celebrated Toothache Day. They're on.
I think it's today, isn't it?
And we put it out, and I said it was after you've had your heartache with Valentine's Day. You eat too much chocolate, you then get a toothache.
That's right.
So we did a poem on toothache, and you can check that out on the Radio Laureate as well. And we do everything on this show, everything.
I think I've seen that, because I
knew
it. I thought Tuesday was today.
No, every day. And all the days they merge into one, don't they? It's all
they do, actually. I never know what day it is.
This is the Christmas edition. We've got so many in the bank.
What we have to do Father Christmas and Santa Claus and
ho, ho, ho.
Put up the decorations and all that.
I love it. We do Christmas in July. That's what they do. We love that.
That'll be your birthday, though.
But remember, every day is my birthday, effectively. But the 7th of the 7th, lucky sevens. You can't.
Yes, I know. Are you the 7th son of a 7th son, though?
Of the 7th daughter of the 7th witch from the left? Absolutely. But it doesn't really work on the sons.
Pat sees this young man and knows that he's got 6 brothers. She just by looking at him. And he's a minor criminal, but she knows that he's special. And how are your 6 brothers, she says. And he goes, what are you talking about? And it's called Merry Meet.
Merry Meet.
Merry Meet. This is what they say to each other all the time. Merry Meet.
Merry Meet. And I say Meet Mary. And she's Larry Hagman's mother. And she's often on the show.
No, that's Mary, not Mary.
Meet Mary. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, So yes, that's what I'm trying to get together.
Fantastic.
But you haven't read anything, have you? You haven't read.
I colour things in beautifully. I read everything. I'm a lawyer.
You
spend
don't.
our
You look
lives
at them, but you
reading.
don't read them. I'm
I
sure.
read everything. You'll be amazed. How do you think I know so much about everybody? I just read.
Because you only know little bits about
I
everybody.
don't know little bits. I know bits about people even they don't know about themselves.
I know that. I know that. And you know how to pick up photographs of people.
I
Things
do.
like that.
Everything.
Uh-huh.
And
And
I'll tell you the secret. The secret is this, is that I approach every chat that I have like a lawyer approaching his case. And it means that you get every ounce and every little tidbit of information about anybody who appears on the show. And
yeah.
then you can chat. And when things come up, they come up. And it sounds as though we've known each other forever.
Yeah, but that is not reading something. I'm talking about actually sitting there with a book
Sit?
and
I don't use the word
reading,
sit.
understanding what's going on in the book.
I love it. I love to get. I love to absorb information, but not just regurgitate, but to question and to challenge and to look at that sort of side. So all of
I
that
think,
is
yes, I do. I think I do admire what you do. I'd have to say that, I'm afraid, but I do have to say it.
Is that a contractual obligation? Did I put that in the contract?
Well, every so often I have to feel I have to say something nice to you. I mean, I spend so much time telling you how awful you are. But you like it, you see, I think.
I think it's good. I think, as I say beforehand, is that like that Marmite thing? And Oscar Wilde was right. The only thing
I know you say that very often as well.
I do. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
Not being talked about. Yes.
Otherwise, you Mr. Cellophane.
Agree with you.
Mr. Cellophane, you have to excite the emotions. They can love or they hate. I rather like Marmite, as they say now. What a great campaign that is. You don't have to love it. You can hate it as well. And even if you pretend to hate it, it doesn't matter. Get people. So we love that.
I hate Andrew Eborn.
I
hate his show. Big and bold and butch and only 6'4".
And even you're singing Mike's songs as well.
Funny. It makes me laugh so much the way he did it, because everybody was sort of saying, "I love the Eborn show," you know. And he came in and did that. It made me laugh like a lot.
No, Mike is a wonderful talent. It's very good. But we've had great people doing the Andrew Eborn jingles. We've had Susie Quattro, Right Said Fred, Mike Batt, who did Bright Eyes. All sorts.
How is she, Susie Quattro?
She's wonderful. She's coming back on the show in the next few days because she's got a fantastic new album out. So we're going to chat about that and lots of other things. So Susie, do you remember Susie? She was one of your chums as well, wasn't she?
Who?
Susie Quattro.
Susie Quattro. Oh, yes. She played. She was in Manny Gets Your Gun.
She was, indeed. And many other, and she was in Happy Days as well.
But you never say, how did you know? Because I never know, because, you know, I did actually find out somebody asked me yesterday, how did you know? Miriam, I think it was. And I had no idea, really no idea.
Well, so I was up in, I'll tell you how I know Miriam. I was up in the tree one day with Barry after school.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, we love it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sonnet number 30 twice, sonnet number 60 with inflation. And it's always a delight. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, darling. What do you want me to do next time?
Oh, I don't know. Make it up. We'll come up with something.
I might even find some of my things. There's one of mine that I want to do, but I can't find it. So
we'll dig it out for next time. Be good. Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
So thank you again to Aline, as in Apple. Aline Apple, so you'll remember. I love it. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, you've got suggestions for guests in amongst all the wonderful celebrities we've got coming up and those we've had before. Write to me at guests@octopustv.com. That's guests@octopustv.com. Don't forget, you can follow me at Andrew Eborn at Octopus TV, and you can subscribe on all of the usual channels. But for now, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.